But if you have questions, just ask.
I'm sure I will. All right, we're gonna call to order tonight. It's now 6:04. I think, maybe, yes. Remind me again, what is the protocol? Again,
You can first determine if you have a quorum.
yeah. First, we're gonna determine if we have a quorum. Well, here, we've got a quorum. We're gonna do the pledge, please stand. Face the flag. Do the US flag first. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pledge of allegiance to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right, so case is called to order. Tonight, we're gonna hold a public hearing considering an act on a request from Aubrey Independent School District, owner of 510 Spring Hill Road, generally located on the south side of Spring Hill Road, east of Highway 377, for a variance to section 23G 4 and 5 of the zoning ordinance requiring one canopy tree per 20 linear feet along Spring Hill Road, fronting Aubrey High School, and requiring screening around a detention pond. Before we open the public to hearing, are there any requests for postponement or jurisdictional issues that anyone would like to raise? None. None noted. No objections are raised. Chair to administer the oath to all persons intended to speak. Chair should, okay, anyone here to speak in regards to this variance? All right, step forward, please. You swear that the testimony and evidence you shall give to the board in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do. Please proceed.
Chair, if it's okay with you, we have just a general presentation about what the request is and then.
Sure, please.
Thank you.
Sure.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Heather Schenkel and I'm here with Messer Report on behalf of the city. I'm going to go over the variance that we have before us today. As you've mentioned, Aubrey High School is constructing additions that total over 80,000 square feet, which triggers the requirement to meet landscaping requirements. The ISD has submitted an application for a variance to section 23G4, which requires one canopy tree per 20 linear feet along Spring Hill Road fronting Aubrey High School. Additionally, the ISD submitted an application for variance to section 23G. I apologize. The first one is section 23G5, and the requirement for the screening along the proposed detention pond is section 23G4. So let me explain a little bit about what those sections entail. Section 23G5 is for landscape buffers that are adjacent to a public right of way, and they shall contain at least one large canopy tree per each 20 linear feet or fraction thereof of street frontage, inclusive of driveways. Trees may be grouped or clustered to facilitate site design. A permanent public art item or greater than 5 feet in height, and may be placed prominently on a site in lieu of up to 3 required trees. And then section 23G4 is basic dry pond shall have a decorative retaining wall or slopes no greater than 4:1, shall provide a large canopy tree each 30 linear feet of the perimeter, and shall provide a large canopy tree each 100 square feet of the basin, and shall provide a minimum 4-inch high black tubular metal wrought iron style fence around the perimeter with evergreen screening. And let me just go over this just a little bit more so it's clear. In 23G5B, what the variance is for is the landscape buffer along the public right of way, requiring one large canopy tree every 20 linear feet. The other one surrounding the detention pond, the variance is to provide the one large canopy tree each 100 square feet of the basin, and to provide the 4-inch high black tubular metal fence surrounding the perimeter of the detention pond. For the landscape buffer, you can see that's circled in the blue around the top. Due to existing utilities along Spring Hill Road, the applicant requests a variance to increase the distance by installing one large canopy tree per 40 linear feet. And the applicant indicates this variance is required due to the planting arrangement will help mitigate potential conflicts with the utility lines and promote long-term viability of the trees. That frontage there is approximately 607 feet. For the detention pond, the applicant indicates that the location of the detention pond does not lend itself to screening as required by the ordinance, and it would create a hidden area where the health, safety, and welfare of the students could be compromised. Additionally, the applicant's engineer indicates tree planting in the amount prescribed in the ordinance would impede functional operation of the detention pond. The proposed solution to this requirement is one tree per 35 linear feet surrounding the detention pond of the perimeter and no fence. The variance process, the 2 landscape variances are before the BOA this evening in order for the board to determine whether a literal enforcement of the required provisions of the zoning ordinance will result in unnecessary hardships such as those listed by the applicant. And these are the requirements that you would need to consider in determining whether or not these variances should be approved or denied. I'll give y'all just a moment to look over those. Please let me know if you have any questions.
No question. How deep is the retention pond?
The basin is approximately 22,000 square feet, but the depth of
The
that, I'm
depth.
gonna let the engineer,
What is the depth of the retention?
I'm gonna let the engineer come forward to explain
And
that
where-
to you.
And where does that overflow to? Which direction does that overflow?
Maintains the existing flow path where it drains today. It maintains the existing flow path, we're just holding the water back or releasing it at the same or less rate.
Well,
The mic stand, we need to have
before-
them take
I need to have you. Do you swear that the testimony and evidence you shall give to the board in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do. Yes, my name is Mike Wilson with TNP, 1569 Salado Trail in Weatherford, Texas. I'm the civil engineer on the project, also have Amanda Mullen on the phone. She's my project manager on this. So the detention pond, it's located in the existing low area where all the water drains now. Because of the improvements, we are putting a pond there to mitigate the post-construction runoff rate to pre-developed runoff rate conditions. So it'll still follow the same flow path and drain off to the east. There's a pond actually downstream that it
On
drains
another,
into.
on the
On
adjacent
the
property.
adjacent property,
Okay.
correct. But per state law, we're required to hold that water back and not increase the rate of the runoff. That's
Yeah,
the purpose
yeah,
of the
follow
detention
that.
pond.
I was just curious how deep, what the depth of the retention pond was gonna be and.
Let me get Amanda to confirm that. I believe it's 3 or 4 foot deep. It'll have a berm and it'll have 4 to 1 side
Oh,
slopes
so
down.
it's not like,
It's not like a big dam on a lake
Okay.
or anything.
And it's a detention. pond.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dry.
retention.
Typically the wet.
detention, yeah.
Yeah,
Step up.
retention is a wet pond that has a constant water level. Usually they have a fountain in it. Detention is a dry pond. It just fills up when it rains, slowly trickles out, and then in no rain events, it's a dry pond.
Another question about the stuff, the only question I had was on the state right away, all the trees are gonna be planted down through there. As far as future expansion of the state coming in and just ripping all that out, once you, if the city requires you to put it in, the state comes in and just rips all that out, you know, I mean, and when does that's gonna happen pretty soon, I'm guessing.
roads.
Hmm?
The roads, construction and the
Yeah.
construction across there.
So kind of a catch 22 there.
Is the right of way that's platted as part of this project? It's already been platted.
Yes, that's already been planted.
Okay, so the trees won't, they've platted the right of way. And so the trees will not be in that right of way area.
Into the expansion of 428.
In the future construction, it's already platted in.
Yeah, so the trees are just outside of that right of way because of there's so many utilities in the right of way, and also trying to be mindful of future expansion to minimize that impact.
Yeah, sure.
And ultimately for the health of the trees.
So when you say outside, is it outside of the designation or inside? I'm trying to understand when you mean
Yeah,
outside.
it's on private property, so it's just, if you're looking at the map there, it's just south of the
Okay,
right of way,
okay,
meaning
okay.
it's on school property,
Okay,
and that's.
I thought that's what you went. I just
Yeah,
needed
yeah.
clarity to make sure, because with the expansion of 428 coming.
And my name's Nick Nelson. I'm a landscape architect with Tignon Perkins, representing the school.
So Rick, would all that be irrigated?
Nick, yes.
Nick, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It will all be irrigated.
Any other further questions? I don't have any further questions. No more questions for me. Anything else? It is now 6:16. We're gonna open up the public hearing. So. Where's something I read it, right? There's something else I've got to add.
No, you can just ask if there's anyone else that wants to speak, and then if not, you can close the public hearing.
Sir, do we have anyone else that would like to provide content or speak? Anyone online? No response. We'll close the public hearing. Time is now 6:17. Feedback from you. Like this. Or even more than that, just. I don't have any concerns, Any questions? No, I mean, we could take a vote. All right,
I make a motion that we grant their variance, their, do I have to read the whole thing?
yes, yes.
Where it starts at,
Owner.
510.
Yep. Owner of-
510 Spring Hill Road, generally located on the south side of Spring Hill Road, east of Highway 377 for a variance of section 23G. Parentheses 4 and 5 of the zoning ordinance required for canopy trees per 20 linear feet along Spring Hill Road fronting Aubrey High School and requiring screening around the detention pond.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Actually, can I go back to the bottom of the first page?
Oh, I did, then I apologize. Okay, I'm gonna read over the community announcements as it was missed. Items of community interest may include recognizing citizens and staff for outstanding contributions to the community. A reminder about an upcoming event that is organized or sponsored by the governing body and announcements of an imminent threat to public safety that has arisen after the posting of this agenda.
The first Saturday of October is the annual Peanut Festival. Right here in downtown Aubrey.
That's fun. All right, we'll go on to agenda item number 2. Considering an action on approving minutes from the following meeting, July 24th, 2023. Approve those. Everybody in favor of approving the minutes from last meeting?
Oh, a motion to, were you,
Go ahead.
motion to approve the minutes from that meeting.
I second that motion.
July 24th. At 6:19. Vote. Is discuss and provide direction to staff to set a date for board training. So is this the training for my ask?
There's certain days that we.
Mhm.
You can do it on the same days what we're doing it now, that way
Yeah.
it keeps it consistent on Monday at 6 p.m.
Yeah, especially if like the next scheduled Monday that we already have on the calendar, if we don't have an item to discuss, I think that's the ideal.
I'll check with Trish. You guys have a sleeping council meeting.
Is there a copy of the curriculum and what you put together up to this point? I'd like to take a look at it.
So Patricia, our city attorney, would like to do the training. She does have an annual meeting on it.
What about Monday, October 30th, the next week, it's a 5th Monday, so it's not anybody's normal meeting night.
I have my calendar for me to work, so. At the same time, 6 o'clock,
What'd you say?
the 5th Monday,
October the what?
The 30th.
the 30th.
Oh, yeah. Halloween, almost.
The day
Yes.
before.
Do we get bonus points if we wear Halloween costumes for the training?
I'll tell her to bring candy for.
Oh,
those
yeah.
costumes.
All right, candy for those.
Giving you more Halloween than this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cupcakes and punch. and-
I just say, let's pick that date. I don't want to be the one that holds it back.
Yeah, unless she can't, and that'll be our. If we have to reschedule, we have to reschedule, but let's try that.
We'll go with that.
It's not somebody that you want to see.
Okey-doke. Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye, and it is 6:22.